Can this heal you? As you age, your ability to heal drops. But imagine if you could inject something that speeds that healing back up. That's the promise of exosomes. Tiny extracellular vesicles that act like little instruction packets your cells use to talk to each other. In a recent review of 61 mouse studies, 60 of them showed faster wound healing after exosomes. And that's why clinics have started injecting them into humans. But government regulators haven't been thrilled. In fact, the FDA has issued public warnings about exosome products. So, are they protecting the public? Or are they just party poopers? Today, we're diving into the actual science behind exosomes and wound healing, and why exosomes in humans are currently so controversial. But first, what is an exosome? Stem cells in your body are known for reducing inflammation and speeding healing, resulting in many clinics being set up to inject people with stem cells. And you can now give stem cells to your dog, your horse, even your pet gorilla. And injury R&D clinics like the National Football League have seen professional athletes seek experimental stem cell treatments. After years of work, the FDA is finally approving some of these treatments. The main way stem cells work is through the paracrine effect, which is where cells send messages to other cells, instructing them to do things. One way they can communicate with these other cells is via exosomes. They're tiny vesicles, 30 to 150 nanometers, packed with lipids, proteins, and genetic material. They form inside the cell and then get released to tell other cells how to behave. If cells were smartphones, exosomes are like push notifications. When you're injured, your body launches a multi-step repair program. There are 4 phases: hemostasis, inflammation, proliferation, and remodeling. Exosomes help in all 4. They reduce inflammation, they accelerate the proliferation phase, and they aid in tissue remodeling. This leads to faster wound closure, more blood vessel growth, more collagen, and less scarring. And this is pretty great because I hate being wounded and inflamed. But theory is one thing. What actually happens inside a living organism? Exosomes in lab mice are pretty impressive. Researchers create a controlled wound on the mouse's back, then apply exosomes. Here, researchers compared control mice to mice treated with hyaluronic acid plus exosomes. The difference is obvious. There are dozens of papers showing faster regeneration. Nearly every time scientists inject exosomes into wounds, they see their mice improve. Some researchers even imagine a future where surgeons routinely squirt exosomes into surgical wounds to speed recovery. But while you might live in a cage, you are a little different than a lab mouse. There are now hundreds of exosome trials listed on clinicaltrials.gov. But we haven't seen any large, long-term trials completed, so human data is practically non-existent. This puts exosomes into a weird legal gray zone. For wound healing, the FDA considers exosomes a drug. Doctors are supposed to have an IND to give them in clinical trials. And the FDA has not been shy to flex its muscle or send warning letters. Some of these clinics have been warned by the government. Some clinics have been shut down. Others still offer them experimentally. And I was recently quoted to have an exosome injection for $6,000. But what are the actual risks? Exosomes are interesting because exosome maxer scientists believe the isolation, concentration, storage, and therapeutic dosage of exosomes are more controllable than with stem cells. But there are still a lot of variables that we have to figure out. Where do you source them? What's the right dose? What are the long-term safety risks? What genetic material is inside them? Exosomes are sort of like a Christmas present. You don't really know what's inside until you open it. We found a lot of proteins and genetic material inside them, but we don't fully understand what all of them do. It's like coffee beans. Beans from one region taste totally different from beans grown somewhere else. Sunshine, soil, and fertilizer change plants' chemical profile. Similarly, the contents of exosomes change based on how the donor cells were grown. As people in the industry like to say, the process is the product. Small changes in formulation can fundamentally change what's in the final product. The controversy is not whether or not the exosomes work in mice. The controversy is that exosomes sold to humans don't necessarily match the ones used in research. Just like traditional authentic Mexican cuisine, you often don't know what's in them. and there's no regulatory oversight to guarantee purity or safety. So, while many people claim to have extremely positive results, many doctors and regulators have raised concerns about the products in the industry. Exosomes are in a pharmaceutical purgatory where they sound amazing in theory, but the lack of human data means we don't really know the long-term results, which is why anyone considering taking them should talk to a doctor before turning themselves into a model organism. What do you think? Did I get everything right? Peer review me in the comments. And like and subscribe if you have injected stem cells into your pet gorilla.